Welcome back. So the Gauteng Education Department says it's ready for the opening of grade 1 and 8 online school admission applications. The process will officially begin on Thursday. Gauteng Education MEC, Mr. Matome Chiloane, is with us for more on this. MEC, good evening to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time after what has been a very busy day for you already. So we certainly appreciate it. So here we go. Thursday, grade 8 and grade 1 applications are open. I know that one of the big challenges that you face around this time is the capacity of that online portal. So some of the things that you have already started to deal with to mitigate against that.
Good evening to you. Good evening to your viewers. No, we improve our system every year. So this year we won't have the same problem. In fact, we have improved our system so much that now, 2 parents can apply for the same child, but keeping within the same capacity of schools, which is 5. So, because in the past, for example, we used to have problems with parents who are divorced or separated, and they each wanted different schools, and only one of them who would have registered first would apply for the child. Now the options are there. So there's been great improvement on the system.
Yeah.
So we don't anticipate a problem there.
Okay, and then of course, one of the things that needs to be done quite often is to encourage parents to really get going on the system as early as possible so that we don't have issues of parents that are desperate to find a school in 2026 at the beginning of the year. So perhaps your key message to parents on what they need to be preparing for themselves for Thursday.
Yeah, the important key message now is get your paperwork ready, get your documents ready, get your home address, municipal statements ready, get whatever, if you're a tenant, you're renting, get all your paperwork ready with terms of the lease agreement, in terms of the municipal account from the landowner, the property owner that you're renting from, get everything certified. And start looking at schools. I mean, we've been running this campaign for quite a while now. Start looking at schools around. Obviously, the feeder zone, the system will help you. Which schools are within your feeder zone? But it does help that parents do a bit of more research as well of the preferred school. What are the requirements? For instance, if the school is a fee-paying school, how much is the fees? Can they afford, etc. So parents really they should prepare for that. I mean, more importantly, get the documentation ready.
Yeah, thank you for that. Really important. And then you've also tabled your budget. And I see that you have allocated 2.9 billion rand to creating, more safety in our schools. And I think that's incredibly important if you look at some of the challenges that we've seen in, areas like Orange Farm, for instance, with gang violence and some of those issues. The question is this 2.9. The question becomes, how do we go about spending it so that we improve safety in our schools, right? That's going to be the toughest thing, I imagine.
Well, that 2.9 includes school nutrition. Nutrition, it includes school transport. So it's a proper support that within that budget. So if you look at nutrition, it takes the grant is about 1.2 billion alone, as well as the scholar transport. So both of them, they'll take close to about 2.4 to 2.5 billion for those 2 programs, because they're quite important so that our learners get meals every day. For instance, we are feeding 1.7 million kids every day in Gauteng. And most of the time 2 meals a day. So what is left, of course, it's also safe schools, security at schools, the patrollers, advocacy program, and so forth. So the other remainder budget talks to that particular aspect. And yes, it is a big issue. Orange Farm is one of the areas that I have big problems with, especially gangsterism in the area. It tends to filter into the schools. But with our intervention, we have been able to curb it to a large extent. I have received some really appreciation letters from some of the principals in the area because of some of our interventions.
Yeah, I think about just how serious the situation is, and perhaps if we need to start looking at safer sort of infrastructure. You know, I think about, and you actually mentioned this today, the Primrose Primary School's principal, Nogoselebe, who was shot by a grade 6 learner at his school. And the question then becomes, do we start to, start building infrastructure that scans what learners have when they go into schools? Do we start to, look at even improving the hiring of tighter security for our schools? I mean, which direction would you like to go where issues like that are concerned?
Technology is important. I agree that at some point we have to utilize technology more efficiently. We do provide tools to search in some of the schools. We give them those machines, the scanners, to check if they've got any metals, carrying metals, especially in schools that are known to have they are prone to gangsterism. The security there is much more tighter. But more importantly, it's more of we need to run a very strong advocacy campaign, from our learners with our communities to really ensure that our children understand that school is it's a safe space. They should not bring weapons. It's a space where if there are issues, they are able to call on any educator or parent at the school to assist them if there are issues that need to be resolved. And learners need to also work and cooperate with the school leadership. If one of their peers seems to be going rogue, for instance, the 13-year-old who started bringing a gun because the child began to bring a gun some time before the actual incident, learners report such and really feel safe that after reporting they will be protected, and more and disciplinary process will be undertaken against the other ones that are doing wrong. So it's more of an advocacy program that we really need to invest in.
Yeah, MEC, thank you so much for speaking to us. We do appreciate it, and all the best, because the rush now begins on Thursday with the online applications, and we'll be checking in, of course, as that process does kick off. But the Gauteng Education MEC, Mr. Matome Chiloane, there speaking to us, and of course today announcing that the Gauteng Education Department ready for the opening of grade 1 and 8 online school admission applications.